Good morning. My name is Steve Weber. I am the host of the American Gumption Morning Show, and welcome to the month of November, first broadcast day for me. I did not do a live broadcast yesterday on Monday. So today is Tuesday, November 3rd. It's election day here in the US. So people will be out and about going to the polls, and I don't know about you guys, but it'll be great when the political ads stop and we go back to whatever normal looks like in our country these days. So anyway, today's election day. Go out there and do your duty. Be kind to others. Cast your vote, and we'll see what happens. It'll all resolve itself one way or the other. Alrighty, so today is show number 62, and so today also starts the beginning of the fourth broadcast month. So I started back in August, September, October, did a total of 61 shows in the 3 months. So average of 20, 5 days a week. Although now I'm settling into a routine where I'm doing 5 shows one week and 4 shows the next week. And that's going to average out to maybe just shy of 20 shows a month, with the extra couple of days in an uneven week somewhere here and there. So anyway, that's kind of the plan. We'll stick with that for the time being, and we'll see how things go. But anyway, excited to be part of the Spirituality Gone Wild team. They are growing and adding new hosts all the time, and I'm honored to be one of them, and honored to have such a great spot here 5 days a week in the morning. So anyway, that's kind of the updates that way. I do not have a guest today. Today's going to be an abbreviated show, so I'll just get in here, get out. We do have Brandon Schaefer doing his simple motivation message. That'll be coming up in just a couple of minutes, and we'll do that, and then I'll do my monologue, and then we'll get out of here. So it'll be a short day. And now tomorrow, I have Michelle Nilsson, who is joining us, and Michelle and I met many years ago when I first moved to Montana, probably around 2010. So let's call it 10 years ago. And we knew each other a little bit. We got to know each other, had a nice conversation and became friends. But then, we lived in the same small town for a few years. And the next thing I know, she up and moved to Ireland. And so she's going to check in from Ireland, and she is launching a brand new business. She is a flower and vibrational essence therapist, a flower and vibrational essence. So I'm not 100% sure what that's all about, but we'll find out tomorrow. So excited that Michelle will join us. And then on Friday, we have Austin J. Haynes returning for the second time. He was here about 3-4 weeks ago when he was on his cross-country trip. He took about a month and just traveled around the country and was meeting people and broadcasting from the road. And so he's back now in his home, not too far from me in New Jersey. And he is a life and business turnaround specialist. So he turned around his life in the last year in terms of doing what he loved to, doing what he wanted to do, as opposed to doing what, provided him a very nice living for many years. And so he helps people who are going through that kind of a transitional turnaround. So we'll check in with Austin on Friday. All righty. So that's it. Now, my monologue today is going to be, I'm titling it "We the People." And I'm just going to tease it for a minute, and we'll get Brandon in here then, and then we'll get into the full thing. But a couple of weeks ago, I was just playing around with the American Gumption logo and the brand and what it really all meant. And, I had come up with the phrase pretty much from the beginning: ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives. Ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives. And so I was creating this logo, and I had the American flag logo, and I'll show that to you in a couple minutes. And I threw up on I created an image which had the United States, the continental 48 states as an American flag. And of course, there's the stars and stripes in the upper left in the Pacific Northwest, and then across the plains, and from all the way from the New England states all the way down to Texas and Florida. That's where the stripes are. And so in one of the white stripes, I wrote that phrase, ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives. And then above it, to the right of the stars or to the right of the stripe of the stars, the blue background with the white stars, there was a narrow little white stripe, and it was right in between that, the blue where the stars exist and the Great Lakes, and it was this short little spot. And I went, I gotta put something in there, and I had created an earlier logo a year ago that had a picture of the kind of the declaration and very big letters, the "We the People." And so I remembered that, and I thought, I could put "We the People" in there. So I went ahead and I did that, and I'm going to show it to you. And we'll talk a little more about that. But little did I know at that moment when I created that, I went, oh my gosh, this is good. And then I ended up, wanting to create another image that actually showed the states, and not just the flag. And I thought, I'll just keep the, when you're creating graphics, you just sort of do a duplicate, and then you delete some stuff and you add some more stuff. And so the "We the People" was still there, and the ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives. And so I thought, I'm gonna leave the "We the People" in there. And so I did that, and then I ended up creating another image, and then last week we had Brian Gregory on the show on Friday, and he talked about what it is, what kind of languaging you want to do. He has the Admanity protocol, a brand attraction report that we talked about last Friday. Went in pretty deep on that. 150-page report talks about what your archetype is, and how, when you know and understand what your archetype is, and basically it's like, well, what is your message, and what is, who is your ideal customer, and what is your product or service. And then if you think about and you take his test, the Admanity protocol, then you will find what kind of a language will best attract those types of people. And so I took that, and so I'm reading through my report, the 150-page report, and I came across something that was called the symbolic metaphor. And when I found the symbolic metaphor, I went, oh my gosh, that's what the American Gumption logo that I created with the "We the People" and the ordinary individuals living extra, that could be it. So that's what I want to go ahead and talk about in my monologue, my full monologue today. Now, I have Brandon in the green room getting ready, and I think we should bring him on, and we should get a little bit of simple motivation to start our election day off and get out there and do what we want to do, in terms of voting, and then, but then get back to business, because it's not going to take all day to vote. Go back and do whatever you got to do. So anyway, let's go ahead and introduce Brandon's opening theme. Brandon, are you in the house?
Yes, Steve, I am here. Yes, Captain Steve, I am here, ready to go. Yes, I am indeed smiling as ever, laughing. And it's 10:05 or 10:08 or whatever time it is in the morning, and we are ready to go, having a good time already. So.
Good. So what do you want to share with us today? Do you have something special, or are you just going to make it up and wing it? I mean, what do you got for us?
No, man. Well, what I'm talking about today is just spending time making improvements. Spend time, whether it be 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning, 15 minutes, a half hour, an hour. Review what you did yesterday and think about ways that you can improve it today, especially in business, right? If we keep doing what we were doing yesterday, it's not going to fare very well. If I do what my grandfather did in business 35 years ago, I'm not going to be very successful. I need to adapt, evolve, transition every single day. And I need to study, monitor what I'm actually doing on a daily basis, and then track it to see where I'm actually headed. Am I moving forward or am I moving backward? Right? You have to ask yourself that. You need to be brutally honest with yourself, and you need to surround yourself with people that are going to be honest with you. Because if you're just walking around like the naked emperor, the results for you are not going to be very well. So commit to yourself to learn every single day. Commit to yourself to understand that there may be a better way and that you need to figure that out. Take the time, invest the money to learn. Watch shows like Steve's. Watch other shows. Listen to podcasts as you're driving, right? I like to listen to music, but I also love to learn. So anytime I drive somewhere, I have a podcast on, whether it be 10, 15 minutes. It may take me 5 different car rides to listen to 1 hour-and-a-half long podcast. But at least I'm learning along the way. So just to wrap up, spend time learning on a daily basis. It's not a I'm going to learn for 7 hours on a Saturday and then the rest of the week not do anything. It is every single day, dedicate a little bit of time. So that's all I have for you today, Stevie.
Thank you, Brandon. I love that message, and it's really it's good timing, and with all the news that's going on, and it's distracting us from doing our job. Just staying focused on what we need to do. And okay, this is an important event, but in reality, we have more control over our own lives doing what we do day in and day out than then the news makes it out that this is the most important thing in the world. So I think it's it's important that we do exactly what you said. Just stay focused and try to improve every single day, because otherwise you're not going to get the job done. And the emperor needs to be wearing clothes. You need to surround yourself. That's why I want you to come on here and make sure that I'm staying upbeat and positive. And so I want to surround myself with people like you, because it helps me keep my positive attitude. So thank you very much, my friend.
Steve, thank you, man. I'm feeling your energy today, man. I appreciate it.
Well, good. Well, I'm gonna do a short show today. Oh, I wanted you to see that. Remember last week we had Tamara on the show, and she was talking about the virtual backdrops. So she's already checked in, and she said, "Good morning, Steve," but she didn't know you were in the house already. So we've got people checking in and
cool.
all helping us out. So and I see you're moved into another room, so you're not a guy who does this from the office every day. You do it from wherever you are. When it comes to be 10:08, you just dial in.
Stop, drop, and film. That's my motto. Stop, drop, film. That's it. All
righty. Well, have a great week. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
I will. Thank you, Safe. Bye,
okay.
Man.
All righty. Well, there is Brandon with his simple. Oh, I got to play his closing theme. My goodness, I'm forgetting. I got to close him out properly. There we go. All right, there's Brandon's segment, and I just want to make sure I give a good plug for Brandon, because he's so kind to come each week and help out and give us some positive Tuesday help. But his business, simplebusinesshelp.com. If you have technology and you have different pieces of technology and you need them to connect together and you're not just sure how to make them, that's what Brandon and his team, that's what they do. They have tech geeks in the back room who aren't allowed to come out and talk to the public. That's Brandon's job. But there's guys in the back who know how to make any kind of piece of technology talk with it with another piece of technology. So if you need some simple business help, go ahead and track him down. All righty. Well, that was kind of fun. Yeah. I mean, every day we want to just keep improving ourselves. And just think about what we did yesterday and improve it. So love that piece of advice. All righty. So I'm going to jump into my monologue at this point. Again, this is only going to take about 10, 15 minutes. So we'll be out of here. We'll be out of here by 10:30 is my guess. So I was describing earlier the idea that I had created a logo. I was just kind of playing around. I didn't have a crystal clear vision of what I was going to do with it. But I thought, you know what, I need to just update some graphics and some. So I remember I had seen this image of the American flag imposed on the continental 48 United States. And I've seen, we've all seen that over the years. And so anyway, I threw the American Gumption logo up on the top, and then I went, oh, look at that big white stripe down right below the blue upper left corner with the stars. And I thought I could put the ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives right there. And then where we the people is, it was like, I need something to fill in there. And a year ago, when I made up the original American Gumption logo, I had a picture of the United States, like, this kind of an image. And around the outside, I had placed different symbols like the Liberty Bell and the Declaration, and on the Declaration you could see we the people. And so I thought, maybe I'll just throw we the people in there, and I found a font that looked appropriate, and so I threw it in there, and I thought, that's kind of cool. And so I didn't have anything other than just kind of updating and making a new logo, or a new, maybe not necessarily a logo, but something new that I could, use to, talk about the American Gumption project and what I'm doing. So then I thought, well, I want a flag, or I want not a flag. I want a map of the United States, and I want to be able to, see where I'm going, because my vision is I'm going to be traveling and living on the road for the next 4 to 7 years, traveling around, meeting people, interviewing people. And I thought, I wanted something that represents what it is that shows me where I'm going. So I just took the original image. Whenever you're making graphics, you just do a copy. You copy it, you delete the one image, and you go, okay, and you find another image and you put it in there. So that's what I did. And then the we the people and the ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives are still there. And so I thought, well, where are they going to fit? And so I took the ordinary individuals, broke it into two lines, threw it down underneath the western states, and then we the people just kind of tucked in right up above the Great Lakes there. And so I thought, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And actually, let me just say that the reason why I did this is because of our guest last week, Tamara Fleming, who helped me do the redo the backdrop, and I thought, I wanted to create some images that potentially I could put up above, maybe in this, corner where the suitcase panel is now. But in the meantime, I thought I could make some screenshots that use as a screensaver. And if I had multiple ones, they would, rotate through every whatever time you wanted. And so in my case, 5 minutes. So I have these two images, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, because the one represents the big American Gumption, the whole fact that we are one big country, and then the next one showed, oh, okay, well, this could be the path that I'm traveling around as I go, as I go about the country, meeting people and interviewing them, and then this gives me kind of a better, like, where are you going? What are you looking at? Kind of has some road maps, the main highways across there. So then that was that. So then the next image I created was this collage of happy couples, people who are happy and living their life, and they're the ordinary people, but finding happiness and joy in their life. And so I just created a collage of that because I thought it was something that, is what I aspire to have in my life, and the vision I want, and the people that I want to reach out and connect with. So anyway, I just did this collage, not necessarily thinking anything other than, gee, this would be, and then the we the people and the ordinary individuals like started to become a theme for me. Alrighty, so then let's fast forward to a few days later, and I have a guest on, and after the words, we're doing just a little talk, and she says to me about spirituality gone wild, that she says, you attached your cart to a good horse. Or maybe she didn't use those words, but what she said was, she said, spirituality going wild is a good partner for you. For what the American Gumption show is, spirituality gone wild is like kind of like the perfect partner. And I, whether she said it or whether I thought it, I'm not 100% sure, but I thought, gee, I've attached my cart to a good horse. So with that, I said, I'm going to find you go searching for pictures and you can find any picture you want, right? So I found this picture and I thought, oh, there's a wagon and there's a horse pulling it. And so I created this graphic. Well, then I instantly, I kind of thought about it and went, oh, well, that's like a we the people thing. So I added the we the people and the ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives in it. And it was like representing like, well, who are you partnering with? Who are you attaching to help you move along? Because we all need help. We all, we are all connected, and we all need to be working with others as we live our lives. And so who's helping to pull you along? And I thought, okay, we the people. All right. So American Gumption. So then that sat for a good week or so. Nothing changed, and I had those as my screensavers, those 4 images going up and back and forth on the screen. And last week, Brian, or the last 2 Fridays, really, Brian Gregory joined the program from the Admanity, his business. And the Admanity protocol is the test that you can take when it lines up your ideal customers or clients and with your service. So as a brand, American Gumption has a service or a product, and who is the people? And if you think about it, just trying to build an audience, I'm doing broadcasting and I'm trying to, build up an audience of people who will like and appreciate this audience. So you can take the test that way. Or if you have, a cellular phone business and people need cell phones and you provide cell phones, then, you take the test that way, and it gives you ideas. Then it fits you into one of the 15 emotional archetypes that will end up, giving you ideas on what will that buyer respond to in a positive way. And no trickery involved with it. A little bit of like trickery in that it deals with the subconscious mind, but no trickery in that you're trying to manipulate people into getting something they don't want. You're just trying to get people who do want what you have, to respond to what it is that you're offering. So this is the idea. So anyway, I'm reading the report and I'm going through, and I end up stumbling into a section, Brian and I never even talked about it. And it was called the Symbolic Metaphor Campaign. And the idea is that you connect your brand with something that, makes people, is recognizable and makes people feel good. And I realized that with the American Gumption brand, which I chose a year ago, and then the We the People and the ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's almost the symbolic metaphor. And that could be used over and over again with different pictures. So then I went and did a quick search and just threw these together. And you can see that there's different, people in all, and then in scenes of America. And so they all thing that they all have in common is that they have the American Gumption brand and the We the People and the ordinary individuals living extraordinary lives. So I went back to Brian and I shared this and I said, hey, is this, we on to something? He goes, yeah, let's give it a try. So what I did then on starting on Saturday was the very first day. I just took that, again, the American Gumption, We the People, ordinary individuals. It was Halloween, and boom, you just find some pumpkins and you throw it up there, and now, you post it on social media, and people said, hey, cool, okay, it's Halloween. And then the next day, November 1st, was our daylight savings time. And so I did the same kind of an idea, and I found the clock. And I don't say turn back your clocks, but on the post, I could say, I think I said fall back, that was it, fall back. And so that became, the post and then the image. All right, great. And then yesterday, Monday, I did this picture. Whoops. This picture here, the couple, and there's the Grand Canyon. And, again, American image, the Grand Canyon, and a young couple who, obviously looks like they like each other and they're happy and they're enjoying, the American, the American dream. And that's really what American Gumption is all about, is an American dream. What is that American dream? Hey, we were born into we are ordinary people. We are not special people. We're just ordinary people that were lucky to be born into this extraordinary place. Now, lots of arguments going on in the world today, and our voting will, dictate what happens in terms of, how that all works out. But the idea is that, hey, this is a pretty special country. This is my belief. And I believe we're all connected. And so the we the people feels very good for me to share. Now I just did today. This was the American Gumption We the People today, and just a simple ballot box. And again, not saying much of anything. And the idea of this symbolic metaphor from the Admanity brand attraction report was that it's like, you don't need to use a lot of words. If you got to explain it, if people can't get it, then you're not doing something right. So now going forward, I have a bunch. I'm just going to roll through these fairly quickly. And I haven't published these yet. So these were just kind of concept things, but here's a cup of coffee. So, some morning I'll wake up and I'll just maybe not feel as energetic, and I'll go, okay, that's what I'm going to use for today. But nice picture, sunrise, steaming cup of coffee. Why not? Golden Gate Bridge. I lived out in the Bay Area for 27 years. And here's a picture from Sausalito, from north of the Golden Gate Bridge, looking back through the bridge to the city of San Francisco, really to the one end of the bridge. The far end of the bridge is San Francisco, and over to the left behind it, that's actually where Pier 39 was, that I sat on the bench with Bubba Gump Shrimp for all those years. So, you can't quite see it. Oh, and then all the way to the left is the Bay Bridge going over to Oakland. So, American icon. But again, we the people. It's like everybody knows that image. Now the next image I have is a woman, probably a beach in Hawaii is what my guess is. And it could be along the Pacific coast, but she's obviously enjoying the fact that she is right on the ocean and feeling and loving life. Now this picture is just a mountain somewhere out west. You see the evergreens in the foreground, the big peak in the back. I don't recognize the mountain, but again, it's just a kind of an iconic representation of what the America West it looks like, and that the ruggedness of our country from the oceans all the way to the mountains. And so I kind of like that. I like those images. Here's maybe that same couple from up at the Grand Canyon. Now they're down on the beach and they're taking a picture at sunset. So, but again, enjoyment, the ocean. People feel good when they're out of the ocean. Here's a couple that are eating some pizza, and just kind of a fun picture. And the last picture that I have today is just a bicycle, a lone bicycle up on top of a mountain there. And of course, a brilliant sky behind it. It's not really it's a mountain. It's a big rocky area. It might have even been, I don't know. It might not actually be a bicycle up there as much as it's just superimposed on there or photoshopped up there. So anyway, I'm not sure of that, but anyway, that's just the kind of represents the fact that we climb mountains, and whether we climb them by our legs or by wheels, we always are looking for a mountain to climb. So it's that journey of life, and that's what American Gumption is really all about. All right, so let's stop the screen share, and we'll kind of wrap up here. Here's my thinking on Election Day 2020. I think that there is probably at least 50, probably 60, 70, maybe as much as 80% of things that actually we have in common and that unite us. So I believe that we are a united country and that there are many more things, more than half of the things we actually agree on and we have in common. And then there is a small percentage of things that we vehemently disagree on. And they could be, I heard this morning, maybe only 3%. But let's say it's 10%. Or maybe even 20% that we disagree with. Well, right now we're in a time in our country where we are focusing on that stuff that we disagree with. So the differences are everything. And at one side, you have people saying this is the way it needs to be. And at the other side, you have people saying this is the way it needs to be. And you can see that the hands represent 5%, 10% at either edge. And then look at the middle, where I'm sitting, all that in the middle is things that we agree on. And yet we're not allowing ourselves to talk about those things and make any progress on those things. All we're doing is focusing on, waste stuff at this end and waste stuff at this end. Well, we're never going to solve those things. But what about all this stuff right smack here in the middle that we could be getting done? And the way our country works, representative government, we elect people to solve those problems for us. We are not, going to Washington ourselves and solving these problems. We say, okay, Mr. Representative, Mr. Senator, Miss Senator, Mrs. Representative, you guys go and take care of them. And yet what they're coming back is and going, nope, can't get anything done. Nope, can't get anything done. And yet in the middle, you got 50, 60, 70% of the stuff that we agree on, and we're not getting done. So it's pretty sad, and it's not a very nice commentary on the way things are today, but that's the reality of the way it works. So we will see what happens. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on what unites us. American Gumption is all about what unites people together and what we have in common. And so we are all connected and there are no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. What's happening in our country right now is happening for a reason. It'll all work out. And so what I'm going to do with the American Gumption Project is focus on the things in the middle, the 50, 60, 70% of the things that we can all agree on. And then the people who want to be out at the edge, I guess that's going to be their business. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't convince this person to move all the way over to here, and I can't convince this person to move all the way over to there. But I can focus on the 50, 60, 70% in the middle that do unite us and that we do agree on. And that's how progress is going to get made. So that's my pitch for today. I'll throw back one last screen, which will remind you of what we should all go do today. Here we go. Yep, it's the voting. Yeah, go out there and vote. And so express your opinion and then be kind to the people who maybe have a different opinion. They have their right to what they believe, and I have my right to what I believe, and I will respect your right for what you believe. And so I will focus on, the 50, 60, 70% that we agree on today. That is the goal of American Gumption. All righty. Well, that's it, everybody, for today's show. We will have a guest tomorrow. We're going to have Michelle Nilsson from checking in from Ireland. And she's an expat who moved over there. So she'll tell us that story. And she'll talk about her brand new flower and vibrational essence therapist and what that really means. I know essence, oils. And so I think it's along that line, but I'm not 100% sure. So she'll bring it in. And then on Friday, we have Austin J. Haynes coming back for the second time to the American Gumption Morning Show. And he is a life and business turnaround specialist. So if you are going through a big transition, then he's the kind of guy who can help you, whether it's in your personal life or your business. And he's committed to, he's done what I did and say, hey, you got to follow your heart. You got to go do what is going to make a difference in this world. And, that's what we all, ultimately strive to do, I would think. So anyway, that's it. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow. And that's it. Have a great day. All righty.